And then soon after, I want to get back into court. I haven't argued a case in almost 3 years, so that's next. And I want to get these lights turned back on. I want this house to be full of music. I want to have a dinner party. Oh, hell, no. Great big celebration. I want 100 people in here, spilling out onto the lawn. I want caterers and a full bar. I want to be surrounded by friends and colleagues.
That's stirring. Those are excellent goals.
Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be breaking down and analyzing how exactly Chuck is handling his situation moving forward, along with whether or not we should start to really feel bad for him. With that being said, warning of spoilers, and let's jump right into this. Alright, so in the most recent episode 308, we actually see Chuck speak with Dr. Cruz about his condition. Now, we didn't actually see Chuck at all last episode, as the last we saw of him was during episode 306 when he actually walked to a payphone to call Dr. Cruz initially. Now, as Chuck starts explaining his progress of recovery to Dr. Cruz, it seems apparent that this isn't their first meeting since Chuck originally called her, and considering that it's been multiple episodes since, it seems to make sense, as we were originally left in the dark with whether or not Chuck was actually going to take Howard's advice back in 306. Howard's advice being that Chuck should try and move forward in his life instead of focusing on Jimmy. Howard explained that Chuck could go on to bigger and greater things, but that can't happen if Chuck stays stuck focusing on his vendetta against Jimmy. So anyways, in the most recent episode, we can see that Chuck is really trying to buckle down and overcome his condition. As Chuck explains to Dr. Cruz about his public outburst in the middle of court, he admits that it was probably the worst experience in his life. It is honestly such a huge dose of karma to have Chuck's plan to take away Jimmy's law license come full circle and bite him in the ass like this, but I'm glad that he's finally admitting that his condition may in fact all be in his head. He explained that his condition was proven to not be real, as there was a battery inside his coat pocket for over an hour without him feeling a thing. This scene ends with Chuck asking, "What have I done?" as he realizes everything that's happened due to his condition. So it seems like Chuck has really taken Howard's advice, as he's really trying to push towards his future by recovering from his mental condition, even so much that Dr. Cruz tells him to not push himself so far. When she tells him that his recovery process may take years, he shows disappointment as he really wants to recover within a few months.
You've just begun a journey that could take years.
Well, I suppose, but surely you'd admit that every case is different.
Of course.
Then perhaps my recovery might be speedier than your run-of-the-mill patient. Isn't that possible?
I'm just cautioning you not to push yourself too hard. I know. Appreciate every step forward, but modulate your expectations.
Yes, absolutely.
When Dr. Cruz asks Chuck for his future goals, Chuck walks around his living room explaining that he wants to turn the lights back on in his house, along with having music playing throughout it. He describes a giant party with all of his friends and colleagues filling up his home and backyard, so you can really tell that he's trying to think of the big picture, as he wants to climb back out of this hole that he's dug himself into. Sadly, that may now become difficult due to Jimmy's burning hatred towards Chuck. During 307 expenses, we watch Jimmy at the insurance company as he ends up mentioning to them that Chuck had a mental breakdown in court, and in the new preview for episode 309, we can see that Chuck and Howard are having a meeting with their insurance company, and it's not going too good. If you want to see a full breakdown of that promo, feel free to check out my other video, and I'm going to have another video as well in the future discussing the relationship between Howard and Chuck. Now, the last we saw of them, Howard was meeting Chuck at his house in 308 to tell him about his malpractice insurance. So are we going to see more of Chuck's realization about this during the next episode, or is it just going to jump to that meeting at HHM? I guess we could hear more of Chuck's opinions afterwards, but we'll just have to wait and see. And if you'd like to hear more about how Jimmy originally screwed over Chuck with the insurance, I have multiple recent videos on the channel. So how screwed over is Chuck going to be with his insurance? Will this end up being a huge deal? If so, it'll really be tragic to have Chuck's life come crashing down on him right as he wants to change his life for the better. A lot of people say that hating Chuck is what the show creators want us to think, and that they'll twist our emotions by making us feel honestly bad for Chuck at the end of the season. But is that even possible? They're having Kim feel guilty for it already, so will her guilt slowly increase as she boils it up? And what about if or when she finds out about what Jimmy said to the insurance company as far as Chuck goes, along with the possibility of Chuck finding out for himself? This season could leave us feeling really bad for Chuck, along with having the relationship between Kim and Jimmy more fragile than it's ever been before. Let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comments section below, along with your own predictions of the Season 3 finale. I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, or even subscribe for more Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad content in the near future. But that's pretty much it for this video though, guys, so as always, I thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
This condition, to me, it's as real as that chair. It's as real as this house. It's as real as you. But what if it's not? What if it's all in my head? And if that's true, if it's not real, then what have I done?